Did you know that by the time we reach 75, we might have lost up to 80% of the very structure of fabric that holds our bodies together? It's not just about the wrinkles we see in the mirror. It's about why our joints stiffen, why our sleep fragments, and why we feel fragile in a way we never did at 17. Today, we aren't just talking about beauty. We are talking about rebuilding the very architecture of your body. You might be thinking, I've heard this before. I need to buy a tub of collagen powder. But here's where it gets interesting. The solution isn't just about dumping raw materials into your body and hoping for the best. There is a very specific mechanism, a biological trigger, that most people completely miss. If you don't understand how this trigger works, you might as well be pouring water into a bucket with a hole in the bottom. We are about to walk through the specific insights that can help you rebuild that structural integrity. From the dietary mistakes we all make, to the specific signaling molecules that command repair. And I want you to stay with me until the very end, because our final revelation number 1 is going to completely change how you think about protein, aging, and what is actually happening inside your cells right now. Before we dive into our first insight, please take a moment to join our community by hitting that subscribe button. We are building a group of informed, proactive seniors here, and I don't want you to miss out. Also, a quick but important reminder. I am sharing this information for educational purposes. We are all unique, so please consult your doctor before making significant changes to your diet or health regimen, especially if you have pre-existing conditions. Let's use this knowledge to have better conversations with our healthcare providers. Now, let's start rebuilding, shall we? Insight number 5, the hidden construction crew. Cofactors. Let's begin with something that is often the unsung hero of the collagen story. We often focus so heavily on the collagen itself that we forget about the tools required to actually build it. Imagine you have a construction site. You have delivered piles of lumber and bricks that represents the protein and collagen you eat. You have the blueprints ready. However, the construction workers show up, and they have no hammers, no saws, and no cement mixers. What happens then? Nothing. The materials just sit there, piling up, useless. This is exactly what happens in your body when you lack specific trace minerals and vitamins. You can consume all the protein you want, but without the tools, your body cannot weave that protein into the complex, triple helix structure that makes up your tissue. We tend to think of vitamin C, for instance, just as something we take when we have a cold. But its role in your body is far more structural. Vitamin C is the absolute essential cofactor for 2 enzymes that are required to stabilize the collagen molecule. Without adequate vitamin C, the collagen produced is weak and unstable. Think of it like trying to build a skyscraper with Scotch tape instead of steel rivets. It might look okay for a moment, but it won't hold up under pressure. Similarly, we often overlook copper. Copper is a trace mineral that acts like the foreman on the job site. It is responsible for the final step of cross-linking collagen and elastin. Elastin is what gives your skin and tissues that rubber band quality, the ability to snap back. When we lose elastin, things sag. To truly grasp how this works, think of your connective tissue like a high-quality fabric. The protein is the thread, but vitamin C and copper are the knitting needles. You cannot turn a pile of thread into a sweater without the needles to loop and lock it all together. Without these cofactors, you are left with a pile of loose string, not a resilient fabric that can hold your body together. Therefore, our first insight is to ensure your diet is rich in these cofactors. We aren't just looking for protein, we are looking for the helpers. This means including vitamin C-rich foods, not just sugary orange juice, but peppers, leafy greens, and berries, and copper-rich foods like organ meats, seeds, and nuts. By ensuring the construction crew has their tools, you ensure that the raw materials you consume actually become the structural integrity you need. Strategy number 4. The whole animal approach. Moving on to our next strategy, we have to address a fundamental flaw in the modern Western diet. This is something that has shifted drastically over the last 100 years, and our joints are paying the price. In modern times, we have become obsessed with tender meat. We want the lean chicken breast. We want the filet mignon. We actively avoid the gristle, the skin, and the tough cuts. We trim the fat and discard the bones. While this might appeal to our modern palate, it creates a massive nutritional imbalance. Muscle meat is rich in an amino acid called methionine, but it is very low in the specific amino acids needed to build collagen. Our ancestors ate very differently. They practiced nose-to-tail eating. They wasted nothing. They boiled down the knuckles and the feet to make stews. They ate the skin. They consumed the organ meats. Consequently, their intake of collagen-building amino acids was naturally high. Today, our diets contain perhaps 1 to 3% of our protein as collagen. But if you look at the human body, 30% of our total protein is collagen. Do you see the math problem there? We are trying to maintain a body that is 30% collagen on a diet that provides almost zero raw material for it. We are essentially starving our joints and skin of the very substance they are made of. To better understand this, imagine you are trying to restore a vintage brick house, but the only material the delivery truck brings you is wood. You can stack the wood against the wall, but it won't repair the crumbling brickwork. Muscle meat is the wood. Collagen is the brick. If you only eat muscle meat, you are trying to repair a brick house with lumber. It simply doesn't work. You need to consume the material you are trying to fix. Therefore, strategy number 4 is to reintroduce these forgotten parts of the animal into your diet. This doesn't mean you have to eat things you hate. It can be as simple as leaving the skin on your chicken or fish. That skin is pure collagen. It can mean making homemade soups using the knuckle bones and cartilage, allowing them to simmer until they break down into gelatin. It means embracing cuts of meat that require slow cooking to break down the connective tissue. By eating the tougher parts, you are actually making your own body more resilient. Secret number 3. The sleep and detox connection. The power of glycine. Now, let's dig a little deeper. Most people associate collagen strictly with physical structure, knees, hips, skin, but there is a biochemical secret hiding inside collagen that affects your brain and your liver in profound ways. As we age, many of us struggle with 2 major things: sleep quality and the body's ability to handle toxins. We find ourselves waking up groggy, or perhaps we feel like our system is just more sensitive than it used to be. We assume this is just aging. However, a significant driver of these issues can be a deficiency in a specific amino acid called glycine. Collagen is incredibly high in glycine. In fact, glycine makes up about 1/3 of the amino acids in collagen. Modern diets, as we established, are low in collagen, which means they are critically low in glycine. Why does this matter? Glycine is an inhibitory neurotransmitter. That is a fancy way of saying it calms the brain down. It helps lower your core body temperature, which is a necessary signal to initiate deep, restorative sleep cycles. Without enough glycine, your body struggles to enter those deep phases of sleep where repair happens. Furthermore, glycine is a precursor to glutathione. Glutathione is the master antioxidant in your liver. It is the primary agent your body uses to detoxify and protect your cells from damage. So, when you are low on collagen, you are inadvertently impairing your liver's ability to clean house and your brain's ability to rest. Think of glycine like the night shift custodial crew in a large office building. During the day, the office is busy and chaotic. That's your active life. But at night, you need the crew to come in, turn down the lights, sweep the floors, and take out the trash. If that crew doesn't show up because you didn't pay them, meaning you didn't eat enough glycine, the trash piles up and the lights never fully go out. The building becomes dirty and exhausted. Consuming collagen is essentially hiring that cleaning crew back. Secret number 3 is to recognize that collagen is a dual-purpose nutrient. By increasing your collagen intake, whether through bone broth or high-quality supplements, you aren't just greasing your joints. You are providing the raw fuel for deep sleep and liver detoxification. It's a holistic upgrade. If you are struggling with sleep, the answer might not be a sleeping pill. It might be the gelatin in a good cup of broth. Key number 2. The modern fragility trap. We are getting closer to our big revelation, but first, we need to address the concept of fragility itself. Why do we bounce when we are young but break when we are old? When you are 17, you are in your anabolic prime. You had the most collagen you would ever have. You could fall on concrete and get up with a bruise. Now, the fear of falling is very real. And for good reason. As we age, if we don't actively intervene, we lose the connective tissue matrix. This isn't just about bones. It's about the fascia. The web of tissue that holds your organs in place, keeps your posture upright, and connects muscle to bone. We often think of our skeleton as a rigid frame, like the steel girders of a skyscraper. But a better way to think of the human body is a tensegrity structure. It is held up by tension and balance between the hard bones and the flexible, elastic, soft tissue. When we lose collagen and elastin, we lose that tension. We become slack in some places and rigid in others. This is why we shrink in height. This is why our skin sags. It is a systemic loss of structural integrity. The standard American diet, which is high in inflammatory sugars and low in collagen protein, accelerates this process. Sugar, in particular, causes a process called glycation, which literally gums up your collagen fibers, making them brittle and unable to repair. Imagine a rubber band. A new rubber band is stretchy, pliable, and strong. You can pull it, and it snaps back. Now, imagine an old rubber band that has been sitting in the sun for years. It's dried out. If you pull it, it doesn't stretch. It snaps. Losing collagen and elastin turns your tissues from a fresh rubber band into a dry, brittle one. Our goal with nutrition is to rehydrate and replace that rubber band. Restoring the bounce to your tissues, key number 2, is the realization that we must actively fight against this drying out. We need to avoid the things that make our collagen brittle, like excessive sugar and refined carbohydrates, and aggressively supply the materials that keep it supple. It is a defense and offense strategy. Stop the damage from sugar and increase the repair materials from collagen. Revelation number 1. The peptide signaling effect, the real secret. And now we have arrived at our final, most game-changing point. This is the piece of the puzzle that most people, even those taking supplements, do not understand. This explains why collagen is unique and why eating a steak is simply not the same thing. There is a common misconception that when you eat protein, your stomach acid just blasts it all apart into single amino acids, and your body forgets where they came from. People think, why take collagen? It's just protein. I'll just eat an egg. Here is the truth that changes everything. When you consume collagen, whether from food or hydrolyzed powder, about 90% of it does break down into individual amino acids, but about 10% remains in small chains called peptides. These peptides are not just building blocks. They are signaling molecules. This is absolutely critical to understand. In biology, a signaling molecule is like a key or a command code. These collagen peptides survive digestion, enter your bloodstream, and travel to your teeth. When they arrive, they act like a docking key. They bind the cells, called fibroblasts, and literally turn on the genes that say, make more collagen. To see this clearly, let's use a military analogy. If you eat a steak or an egg, you are sending a delivery truck full of bricks to a building site. That's great. The bricks are there. But when you consume collagen, you are sending the delivery truck full of bricks, and you are sending the general with a megaphone who shouts, start building the wall. Right now, the steak provides the materials, but it doesn't provide the command. The collagen provides both the material and the specific command signal to your body to start repairing itself. This is why collagen is so effective for wound healing, for gut repair, and for joint health. It tricks your body into thinking there is a breakdown, triggering an aggressive repair response. Therefore, our ultimate revelation number 1 is this. Collagen is not just a food, it is a messenger. By consuming it, you are actively communicating with your cells, instructing them to reverse the aging process of your tissues. You are hacking your body's communication system to prioritize repair. This is the real power of collagen that goes far beyond just eating protein. So, we've covered a lot of ground today. We started with the importance of the construction tools, vitamin C, and copper, insight number 5. We looked at the ancestral wisdom of nose-to-tail eating, strategy number 4. We uncovered the hidden benefits for your sleep and liver through glycine, secret number 3. We explored how to stop our tissues from becoming brittle rubber bands. Key number 2. And finally, we unlocked the game-changing revelation number 1, that collagen peptides are the generals commanding your body to rebuild. Which of these insights, perhaps it was the nose-to-tail strategy, or maybe the science of those signaling peptides, resonated with you the most? Are you going to try leaving the skin on your chicken? Or perhaps start a morning routine with collagen peptides in your coffee? I would love to hear your thoughts. Please share them in the comments below. Your experience helps this entire community grow stronger. If you found this journey through the architecture of your body valuable, please give this video a thumbs up. It really helps others find our community. And don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell for more powerful strategies tailored for our fantastic group of healthy seniors. We are in this together, rebuilding and reclaiming our vitality one step at a time. Until next time, stay healthy, stay curious, and keep thriving.